And we're live.
Alrighty, we're back with the moderates. What is this now? The moderates 12, 11?
Is it 10? I believe it's 10. The
No, I
last
think we
show
did
in
10.
my... The last one that I have listed here is 9, so...
This is 10.
10?
Well, either way, we're back. You guys get to see our beautiful faces once again after, what, is that 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
2 weeks of no show, I believe.
Yeah. Organizing ourselves back in Calgary and figuring out our work schedules.
Yep.
So hopefully we can come back strong for a long time here and bring you some solid, hopefully not boring entertainment.
Gonna improve over time too, so...
Yeah.
Always looking forward to suggestions from anyone who is watching. Definitely want to get some feedback as to what people like, what we should get rid of. All that good stuff.
Probably a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Everything here is
what do
good. Keep all of this.
Keep
What
all
do you have
that.
in the back there, Brock?
The
I see
back?
some faces.
There's a lot of stuff. These
Some
guys
faces,
right
so
here,
those- Yeah.
you probably can't see. I wonder if I can adjust this and it'll change the...
Bingo.
Oh yeah, there we go. So
Nice,
the
that's-
one right here, that's me. It's like an awkwardly embarrassing giant picture of me.
That's you?
That's me right there.
You look like it looks like
You
a
look
royal.
older.
It looks like a royal painting.
I know, right? It's...
You have one of those scarf things like
No, it's...
George Washington or something almost.
It's actually just like a collared shirt with the black thing is a vest, actually.
Okay.
Just, yeah, and then that one right there is my sister.
Okay.
Yep, and that was a few years ago. And that cross is a memento from when my dad died. Yay! So,
The beautiful cross.
yeah. Ooh, oh dear. Yeah, there we
You
go.
don't have any glasses in the picture there.
No, I didn't. I don't. I'm actually hoping to, I started working at my job here in Calgary, at Spruce Meadows, and I bought some safety glasses. Spent like $25 on them, got a bit better quality. But they don't fit over my glasses. They're harder to find. I went to Mark's Work Warehouse and they didn't have any that went over glasses.
Mhm.
So I'm actually thinking of going back to contacts for a while.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never really seen you without glasses.
No?
And it's kind of, you guys kind of know when you have a friend or whoever that you always see wearing glasses. Whenever they take them off, it looks really weird.
It does. And vice versa too.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
wonder
they
why
look
that
like a
is.
totally different human.
Yeah. I wonder if it's just because of you're trying to adapt, basically. Your eyes are trying to adapt to the change.
Mhm.
So they're a little more squinty.
Yeah, and they kind of look more confident or something, sometimes more intellectual. With glasses are confident. Yeah, I would say more intellectual or sometimes mature with glasses. And then without them, they look more confident, more sporty, more stuff like that, so...
Yeah.
Maybe.
Is it weird that, like, because, like, the common thing is, like, people with glasses are always like, oh, I hate having glasses. I can't wait till, like, a miracle happens and I never need these again.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I had glasses because every time I put glasses on, like, people I hang out with are like, man, you look good in glasses. You
Really?
look like a sharp gentleman right there. I'm like, fuck.
Maybe.
I want glasses.
I could see that both ways for you, Tanner. I could see one way where you look really sophisticated with glasses. I could just see you sitting there going like this, looking pretty sharp. But then on the other hand, you could look like a big-time geek.
I already look like a big-time geek. Look at me. I got Guardians of the Galaxy, Doctor Strange, and Transformers behind me with a... Look at Baby Tanner here. You want to zoom in on little...
Maybe too. Is that a fake magazine soccer article thing?
Yep.
Oh, I have one of those too.
Oh, look at him.
Before
got,
he was
like,
corrupted.
Some lipstick going on there or something.
I have the
Joker
Corey,
action.
I have the Corey Perry smile. Looks like a lizard alien human thing.
Yeah.
You look like
Oh,
you just...
what a disgusting person that guy is. You know what? I hate Getzlaff even more though.
Because Getzlaff put the dagger basically every time, or like...
Yeah. And he's so friggin' big that no one can even knock him over. Not even Lucic, man.
Wait.
Lucic can knock him over a little bit.
Well,
Where-
Lucic is kind of short, man. Like, Draisaitl's a big boy.
Not to be
Lucic
that
is-
guy, but where
Lucic is 6.
is this from? What are we talking
This
about
is
right now?
from round 2 when Edmonton played Ducks.
Oh, okay.
Our 2 teams went at it.
The hockey stuff that I should be more aware of.
We actually predicted that series in our NHL special there.
You
That
guys
the
actually got most
Ducks-
of it right?
No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
no.
But we got Ducks against Edmonton. We correctly...
I predicted
that.
Edmonton to lose in the first round.
Hmm.
I was the only person, and I'm the Oilers fan.
I watched that game that the Oilers beat the Sharks at. I was at a strip club in Lethbridge.
You watched it there?
Yeah. You know, it's ironic. We're sitting there at the table. I had Braden and his girlfriend come down, and we hung out with my roommate, just kind of went out for the night. And we wanted to give my Braden's girlfriend's friend the proper Lethbridge experience. So we kind of like hopped around like the local places and what Lethbridge people consider
hold on.
downtown.
Braden girlfriend's friend was a girl?
So 3 of them came down, then my roommate and me. So 5 in total. But we hopped around and we started at the strip club or whatever. Actually, funny story going to the strip club in the taxi cab. This guy turns around and he's like, "I used to be." He said he was like a special ops from like the American Army, and that he got like discharged and stuff. And he's like, the whole ride, he's telling us how the Clintons like secretly killed hundreds of people. And as we're rolling up to the place, I dropped a joke. I'm like, "Hey, man, thanks for dropping us behind enemy lines." And he turns around and looks me dead in the eyes. He's like, "You know, you could get killed for making jokes like that with other people." And I was like, "Okay, there goes your tip. But see ya, thank you." Anyways, we're in the strip club and everyone's like has their eyes on the stage or whatever. And I'm like looking off at the TV, being like, "Come on, Sharks! I don't want to play the Oilers." And then they did it.
Oh,
and,
man.
and the rest is history.
Yeah. Man, you got a pretty good relationship with those refs, eh?
No, come on, man.
There's
What-
lots of
them off or something.
What are you talking about? The Kessler thing or the offside thing now? Or the
Everything.
every-
Come on.
The fact that you have to list off the different things in the series shows you how bad they were.
No, I can list it off because there's so many bandwagon fans that are on social media like fucking bunnies.
Are we
Just
talking
going
about
meme,
this?
meme. Everyone thinks they're a referee because they're bandwagoning a team that hasn't made the playoffs in a decade, so everyone thinks they're stripes. On the icing call in Game 4, it wasn't icing. The ref, there's a separate angle they show where the ref down thing waved off the icing. Like, the ref waved it off. Like, they
I
were
know, but
playing.
why? Why?
I don't know. Like, he could have got to it. That's, like, the thing they said.
You know,
They're not putting-
I wasn't too mad about the icing there.
Yeah, you're talking
But
about
I'll-
the Kessler thing, probably.
The Kessler thing.
Nurse pushed him.
And
And,
then-
Kessler
the
isn't
Corey-
holding on to anything but his stick.
and then the
Nurse is
Corey
on top of him.
Did you see Kessler? He was holding Talbot's pad, man.
No, he wasn't. Look at it. He is like the pad is in between. Here.
Don't try to justify it. Don't even.
No,
try.
come on. No, I can
No.
just like I'm honest about this. His hand is on the stick. I watched the you know how like after every game all the announcers are like that table of 4, the panel or whatever. Even they pointed that out to me. They're like, "Listen, Nurse pushed him. He was there a little bit longer, but his hand was always on his stick."
His free hand was grabbing Talbot's pad and opening it up, man.
No,
You
that was
can't deny
that was his like
can't
if he
deny
was
it.
right-handed like me like it was the like if the butt of his stick was here, his hand was always on that, and the pad came under his forearm while Nurse was still around him.
We'll watch the video next time I see you. We'll watch that video.
Because I didn't
And
even
also-
notice that until like the panel pointed it out post game, like even after overtime and everything. But what's the Perry
The
thing?
panel was on the Oilers side.
Hmm?
The panel was on the Oilers side there.
They pointed it out.
Saying that it should have
I was
been
watching the
clear.
Canadian stream in Saskatoon.
Well, that's not what I saw. And then the Corey Perry thing, he runs into Talbot,
Where?
basically. He backs into him and then gets
Uh-oh.
off shoots. Yeah, beginning of the second.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Beginning of the second
Talbot is
period.
out of his crease. Perry didn't touch the blue.
Doesn't matter.
No, that doesn't matter.
Still-
That's the rule.
Still impeded Talbot's ability to make a save.
Well, no, the puck goes over here. Both him and Perry are here, and the puck goes in over here.
No.
Look at it.
He knocked over his blocker, man. You can't lift up your blocker after a guy hits it, obviously.
It went in glove side.
No, it didn't.
It did.
It did not.
Search it up.
We will later. We
Yeah.
don't have time for that.
God damn, you sound
But
like
it
social
did-
media. Had enough of this.
That was
Yeah, you're not gonna convince me one way or another.
Even Lucic, that what game? Oh, it must have been Game 5 after the double OT. Lucic was being like, it's like he went on that tirade, like it's sickening that we're in this position and everything.
It is. It
Go
was.
there and play. Oh, did you hear what Johansson said today after the Ducks game?
What?
Oh God, you guys chat about something. This is like Johansson, like he's whining on another level about Kessler.
Good.
Everybody who hates Kessler.
Kessler's a
Hey,
bitch.
come on, who would you rather have on your team, Lucic or Kessler?
Lucic, just because Kessler's classless.
Kessler is a Selke-nominated player right now.
I don't care. I don't like him.
Let's see here. Da.
I've heard about Kessler before, and if I heard about someone, that must mean something.
So this is a quote directly after the game that just happened. This is Johansson talking about Kessler because Kessler is on him like he was McDavid. McDavid did like amazingly though. So this is Johansson. He says, he just blows my mind. I don't know what's going through his head out there. His family and friends watching him play. I don't know how you can cheer for a guy like that. It just doesn't make sense how he plays the game. I'm just trying to go out there and play hockey, and it sucks when you have to pull a stick out of your groin every shift.
Yep.
Is that
Johansson got a penalty this game for smacking Kessler in the face with his stick.
Good. Do it more. I don't care.
Hey, man.
Anyway,
All I'm saying is
that's
you
in the
should play
past.
more, one
I've
less.
I've moved on from that. It is what it is. They were saying that this season is probably the last opportunity you guys are going to have to beat us.
Like Ducks versus Oilers?
Yeah.
I would say that against Ducks versus Flames. I'm surprised that was even a sweep.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been. It was closer than it showed.
Oh, yeah. Way closer.
Yeah.
Flames dominated most of those games. Even the Oilers games, they're like there's the one comeback against the Flames, and then that like the history-making comeback against you guys for Game 5.
Yeah.
And not even that series. We had to come back in the series 2-0.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You guys played better in this series than the Flame series, though, I think.
Yeah, but that just goes to show how much better the Oilers are than the Flames.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Wow, of course. Yeah.
Like we almost won that game 1. Like you guys had your game-winning goal off of Theodore's skate or something that last period.
Yep. Yep.
And like as soon as you guys got that bounce, it was just that game was done. That's just like a blow to the gut. So, Draisaitl, that guy sucks. I mean, I would take him. I would trade half my team for him. Like the Ducks
Okay.
can't figure Draisaitl out. Did you see what they did to the Wikipedia page after Game 6?
What?
They went to the Anaheim Ducks Wikipedia page and said owners Leon Draisaitl.
Oh, man. I know, like, it's crazy.
He
that
deserved
guy-
it. He knows how to like take down the Ducks. It's insane.
Yeah, he couldn't quite do enough, though, in Game 7. But again, it is what it is. I'm over it now. We can move on to... There's bigger fish to fry out there.
Oh yeah, like the refs, those pesky zebras.
Fire them.
Yeah.
So I have about 0 context for everything you just talked about. But yeah, I mean, Oilers lost, Flames lost. Beyond that, means
Yeah.
diddly squat to me, I guess, which is sad.
Were you ever into sports, Brock?
I was actually before this happened.
Yeah.
Dad was quite into hockey. Actually, he was also into golf. Yeah, I was in
yeah, you were
quite
telling
into
me about
sports
that.
actually. It's actually, if he didn't pass away, I probably would be really into sports. So, and arthritis happened to me. So,
Yeah.
You have arthritis?
you don't know yet? Oh,
No.
well, let me tell you. Yeah, I have
Where?
arthritis
Yes. Where is it?
in my my larger joints. So my knees,
Oh, okay.
my ankles, and my hip. My hips have some, and specifically my right elbow.
I have a sneaking suspicion that I'll end up with arthritis at some point, like with
Mhm.
specifically my hands with all the music and stuff. Like I just abuse these things. But
That's
I'm a
awesome.
hypochondriac. And it's even more ironic because I self-diagnosed me with being a hypochondriac. If I have like a bump or something or like a cough, like a cold goes on too long, I'm on Google being like, oh, this time it's cancer, this time it's AIDS.
Well,
Yeah.
Like last year during finals, Like, do you know what PVCs are? Like
PVC.
preventral contractions or whatever.
No.
Okay.
It's like when there's that node in your heart that like triggers like a contraction, right?
Oh yeah.
Like that electrical node. Sometimes your heart can go before preemptively, or it can be late. So kind of like it almost kick starts before the other thing, so they bounce into each other.
Okay.
And if you're stressed out, that can happen. It's like a lot of people it happens to. So it's like finals season, right? I had like full schedule, like I had like lab finals and then 5 other finals. Like it wasn't that bad. Like I wasn't super stressed out. I didn't feel like I was stressed out, but I guess like physiologically my body was like, stop doing what you're doing. And I could feel like my heart, like you'd feel it, be like, what the fuck was that? So then eventually I go into the doctor. I'm like, I think I have heart cancer or something. Or well, here's the messed up thing. My friend's like was in school for like, she's like going to be a cardiology technician. And I was kind of explaining to her like the symptoms. And she tells me it's this like completely random thing. Other things, she's like, yeah, that's fatal. Like,
Fatal.
Come on.
I'm sweating bullets. I go to the doctor and they're like, oh, we'll strap you up with a thing. And they're like, I wear this thing for a day. They're like, oh, it's just PVCs. You'll be fine. And
Well,
been fine ever since.
frankly.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
I used to have that,
Oh,
being like a hypochondriac. But then I kind of thought to myself, well, if it happens, it happens. I can't really control it.
Does it adversely affect you?
me?
Well, yeah, or anyone having the offbeat beats going on.
Oh no, I don't like. It was just a one-time thing. Like it's
What's the term for that? There's a term for when your heart kind of skips.
There's like what depends on what's causing it.
Falling
mine was
in love. That's what it is.
Like PACs or PVCs, so pre-atrial or pre-ventricle contractions.
Yeah.
I could
But
see
then
that.
like it could be, you could have you could have a clogged artery somewhere or something. There's like so many things like with the heart.
It's
You could have
complicated
like
organ,
what's the
kind of.
thing where you need a pacemaker, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually self-diagnosed myself one time. Like this was like 2 years ago. Like I had like onset meningitis from like pneumonia. It was like pneumococcal meningitis. Like I'd cough a lot and like my head would hurt every time I coughed. I was like, what the fuck? And I Googled it one time. They're like, oh yeah, it's meningitis. But I'm like, nah. Like everyone around was like, oh no, you'll be fine. You'll get over it. Then one night I woke up at like 3 a.m. and like my spine was curved like this. I couldn't like stand up. I had to like waddle into the car with my dad. And we went to the hospital and they're like, oh yeah, it's like onset. Like I didn't have meningitis, but it would have happened if you just
coming.
Yeah. So like to check if you do have meningitis, you have to check your spinal fluid, your cerebral shit or whatever.
Yeah. Because
like meningitis is like has to do with that membrane. You have like the meninges or whatever.
Inflammation of the meninges.
Yeah. So I guess I had
meninges.
this piece of shit doctor that just graduated, because you got to get a spinal tap. A spinal tap is the needle the size of my forearm, right?
Oh.
So like we're like, just to be precaution, make sure I definitely don't or like catch it as it's coming on. They like want to get the stuff out of my back, so you got to go lower back and in. And the guy tries 26 times.
Ooh.
Like he's putting this thing in me 26 times. I'm basically getting rammed like a porn star here with no pay. And all of a sudden,
How big was this needle?
Size of your forearm.
How does that go through? Like,
Well, I think it goes up, like it goes into your spine or whatever.
okay, yeah.
I might be like exaggerating. Could be half the size. All I remember, I look back. I look back.
Whoa.
Oh shit!
It's like a foot-long sub right there, Matt. That's longer than a foot-long sub. That's like two.
It was big. It was definitely bigger than you would think. But anyways, a veteran doctor walks by and he goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" And the veteran doctor takes it out of his hand. One shot goes in, takes it out, and I was like, "Thank God." I was done with that. They check it. I didn't have meningitis. They suspected it was oncoming, so they gave me like the pills or like antibiotics to make sure it didn't happen. I've been getting my flu shot ever since. Get your flu shots. But that was the one time I corrected myself.
No, man.
What do you call?
It's garbage. Flu shots.
What?
Flu shots, man.
You don't get your flu shot?
No.
My buddy's dad died because he didn't get his flu shot and he just got a cold.
How do you die from that?
Like, I don't know, just like attacked, like the common cold killed him. And like it just like shut off all his organs one by one by one by one.
That doesn't sound
Just
like
happened.
cold.
It was.
Well, the cold begins it, and then
Yeah,
other
it just like
stuff
complications
happens
from the
alongside.
common
Things
cold.
pile on top of each other.
yeah.
It was just like a complication from the common cold that the flu shot could have saved. And even my thing, like if I had the flu shot that season, I never would have got pneumonia because I got pneumonia twice that year.
Really? How do you get pneumonia?
Fluid in your lungs.
But how do you get that?
Typically, well, I've had it like more than that in my life. I've had it a few different times. But when I had it when I was younger, actually, and like when I was a baby, and they had to like stuff a tube in my chest and like pull out all the liquid. But it's like if you get the cold, like the common cold, right? Like all your like mucusy and stuff you can get into your lungs, and then from there it's like pneumonia. Then you're just hacking up everything all the time.
Huh.
That's like the basic, like uneducated summary of pneumonia.
People used to die from pneumonia.
People still die from pneumonia.
You'd think so.
Yeah, I'm a survivor.
Yeah. I find Cold Effects is beautiful, man.
Cold effects.
John Cherry's Cold Effects. Oh, baby.
Y'all got to get your
It's
flu
magical.
shots.
Magical.
Yo, I did go get the shots with my buddies. We went to Pops in Lethbridge. We did our thing there. Had some food, tacos. We had tacos, and then we went to Shoppers later. And we're like, hey, let's get our flu shots. So we got our shots just together.
Yeah, you got to make an event out of it. It's the only needle I will accept.
Just a bunch of guys going to get our flu shots. We were so cool.
You guys get matching
Yeah.
Band-Aids?
No, we didn't. I had a good chat with the doctor though. That was good.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What did you talk about?
I don't remember. Talked about immune system or something.
Just look over at your doctor, like, do you like tacos?
That's what I just had.
Yeah.
Does my breath smell like it?
It's tough though with needles. Like, I don't allow needles in my life. No needles unless it's life-saving.
You ever donated blood?
Nope, never will.
Rock?
I haven't ever actually, no.
I've done it a couple times.
Yeah?
They give you like a bunch of cookies at the end though, which is nice
It's all about
to
the
replenish your glucose level.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone with some buddies that have given blood, and then I still get cookies at the end.
You moocher.
Yeah. I take and never give.
No. But actually, I think in the U.S., if you donate blood, you get paid a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, we're talking.
Yeah. Not here, of course,
Not to the point that it's worth it. You don't get paid that much, but
in the
you get paid
U.S.
some. Oh,
Well,
my-
if you're homeless, then it might be worthwhile
my
if
computer
they take
is
your blood.
slowing down. Oh. Hopefully it's fixing itself. I hope it's not recording a frozen screen right now.
Can you see us?
It's running at about 1 frame every 3 seconds. Oh, now it's back. Hey!
Hey.
Hi guys, how's it going?
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo, this
Oh,
is
man.
how I will never get laid again.
You almost accidentally knocked off your hat there, and I was getting pumped.
Oh,
Bad hair day. Oh, look at that.
awful. Unbelievable.
Looks like I have 2 kids and a divorce.
Who cut that, Brock?
What?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I just like didn't even like do my hair. I got out of the shower and put my jersey on for the game. Actually, I didn't even take a shower. I took a bath.
What'd you guys do all day today?
Absolutely nothing.
Went to church.
I
Yeah.
watched the finale of Riverdale. I watched some of Aziz Ansari's new
How
show.
is Riverdale?
Very fun.
How is Riverdale?
It's pretty good. Like, it's not going to win any awards, but it's a good little mystery show.
Wait, sorry.
13-episode season.
Riverdale. Am I thinking the right thing? I might not.
It's like based on the Archie Bunker
Oh,
comics.
I thought it was a movie. It's a show?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
television
yeah.
show.
So,
Finger guns.
is it going along? Is it following the canon and everything?
I'm unfamiliar with the canon,
Okay.
but it just ended, like the first season. They were renewed for a second season. The weird part is like the first 4 or 5 episodes is like this weird subplot where Archie like hooks up with his like music teacher, and then she gets caught and has to leave town, and she has nothing to do with the plot.
What?
Like, it never made sense to have her in that show.
Is that Jughead guy in there?
Yeah, he's in there. He's played by Cole Sprouse.
Isn't he like
from Zach and Cody.
bisexual or something in that.
Oh, really? Oh, wait,
In-
what?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
In Life or Riverdale? He's got a girlfriend in
in
Riverdale.
Riverdale.
He's dating like Betty in Riverdale. You know, like Betty and Veronica.
Jughead?
Yeah.
Jughead is what?
Mhm.
What? That's
Then
not
Archie-
canon at all. What
Archie's
is
with-
this?
Archie's with Veronica. At the end of the season, like the last episode, he feeds her the D.
Whoa.
I never really read Archie. as a kid.
I'll pull up a picture of them. Actually, Veronica's very beautiful.
This is... No. It's too different. Not
Oh,
that
too
I was a
different.
faithful reader, but...
It's
That
it's
is-
really plays to like late teens, like maybe 16, 17-year-old females crowd. It's good enough for like I like it. I know a lot of guys that watch it. Riverdale Veronica. Let's get a picture of this beautiful, beautiful person.
This is the comic book Veronica or the real life Veronica?
Oh, actually, well, in my search here, this is like the comic book one here, eh?
Mhm.
Oh, baby.
And then it's kind of pixelated. This is the show.
She
Okay.
matches, actually. So, there's that. So, at least they followed that canon. But...
She got
Oh,
like
this
a
is
weird fold on her neck there. Oh, okay. Yeah. She's got like angry eyebrows. Are those painted on? Those things?
These things?
The eyebrows.
Those
Are they
things.
painted on?
I don't know. We'll find out in season 2. That's going to be the big plot mystery. Are they
Yeah.
real or are they fake?
Also, yeah, I wanted to talk about La La Land a little bit.
I
Oh,
am
man.
ready to.
Man, I want to watch it again.
How many
Great
times have you seen
movie.
it? Just the one?
Just one, yeah.
It caught you pretty quick, eh?
Did you see it, Brock?
No. So, give me a good summary of everything.
Do you care about the ending? And
Probably
everything?
not, no.
Okay,
This isn't one I'm really anticipating, so I don't really mind spoilers.
okay.
But yeah.
What did
go
you
ahead.
think of the ending, Tanner?
The ending in La La Land?
Yeah.
Oh, it's one of my favorite things I've ever seen. It's heartbreaking. It literally takes your heart out of your chest and shows it to you. In a beautiful way, though. It's very beautiful.
I kind of thought I didn't take it like that as much.
You didn't like the ending?
No, I liked it, but I didn't think it was that heartbreaking. Like
I don't know.
that
So-
smile at the end that they gave.
Explain the ending.
Kind of. Okay, Tanner can do that.
Tanner, explain the ending.
So the movie is about a musician. Like, it takes place in Los Angeles. There's an aspiring jazz musician who wants to own his own club, but he wants to keep the tradition of jazz alive. He doesn't want to modernize it. He wants to capture that old spirit and like retain like what made jazz jazz.
Okay.
And then there's an actress who just wants to become like an aspiring actress, has a career in that. And throughout the movie, they kind of like develop a relationship, and throughout like the linear progression of their relationship, there's kind of juxtaposing musical things that show the ironic decisions they make. It's kind of breaking the fourth wall as well as progressing the story, and kind of shows them as characters and where they could have gone and like
Interesting.
how they actually ended up. Because in the end, the movie's called La La Land, where it's like you're always dreaming, like you're in La La Land, right? And then like you look at Los Angeles, that's basically La La Land, where everyone goes like with their dreams. But unfortunately, they end up choosing like their goals instead of compromisations.
Okay.
And then it's
Instead of each other, kind of thing.
Yeah. And at the end of the movie, it's like 5 years following. It's the epilogue to their story, basically. So you pick them up 5 years after, where they kind of drift away into their own lives.
Oh, so like that's like the jazz guy actually did pursue continuing the classical jazz feel sort of thing.
And he does end up having his own club, and she ends up becoming a very successful actress. And it picks up 5 years later, where she's married to a completely different guy with like the kid of their own, and they end up one night stumbling into this jazz thing because traffic is bad, and it ends up being his jazz club, and it goes on to this big long musical epilogue where it shows their life, like the characters themselves, if they would have stayed together, the compromises that could have led to like a beautiful life for them, and it shows their life as her career grows, as he gets his own jazz club, and if they have a kid of their own.
Does
And
it
then-
present it as a better option, as in like it would have been better if they did compromise, sort of thing, or is it just like an alternative?
It's kind of presented as if this could have happened. Like you don't know that it's like a fictional possibility till like the last shot, but it's like depicted as like this is what they missed out on because they couldn't compromise, right? Like they were in La La Land the whole time instead of being with each other. So like the last shot comes, like the whole epilogue happens showing like this fictional what could have, and the last shot is like zooming out as they're in the club together, like the original people, and they're very cozy together. They're very happily in love, and then it pans to like the piano man on stage, and it zooms out, and it's actually Ryan Gosling, which reveals that the whole thing was just not a thing. It was like a dream.
Okay.
And then it cuts back to her and her genuine like reality husband, and they're just stagnant, sitting in their seats, like very like there's no love between them. It's just very like pragmatic relationship, and that's like why it's kind of sad seeing them like immediately from this loving thing to like this like very like just like we're married to be married kind of thing. You know, like the whole like burned out marriage thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then like as she leaves, like the movie ends as she leaves, looks back to the stage, and he kind of gives her a nod like we had something good, and she kind of smiles like he's supporting her decisions every time. Like he's always been supportive, and they're both supportive kind of thing. That's how I received that, like that kind of last look, like no matter what, you have me here and I have your back.
You agree, Sam?
My take on it was that with that smile that they gave each other at the end, it was kind of like everything was all right because they accomplished their goals and did what they wanted to do. And it was kind of funny. I kind of noticed throughout the movie that any time that they seemed to be getting closer to their goals, they would drift away from each other. So they were like related things. So either they could be together and not achieve their goals, which they could have, I guess, apparently based on this whole fictional thing that Tanner was talking about. So they could have potentially sacrificed their goals for each other, or they could have gotten their goals without each other. So it depends like what's more important to them. And that smile at the end kind of showed me that the goals were more important to them.
Interesting.
And that they achieved those goals and that everything was okay because of that.
That's one way to take it.
Sounds
I think
deep.
I don't think it's a happy ending like that, because Ryan Gosling looks like visually, like he's like, looks like you took a strip off of that guy when you see him finish that epilogue, and it's revealed that he was playing it the whole time. Like he looks like he's a broken man playing for her. Like when you see him up on stage, right?
Yeah.
And then even here's the
But
thing.
he's the one that cracks the smile at the end though.
No, that's true. Like she's going up the stairs and she looks back, and he like slowly looks up. He slowly looks up like, please don't be there kind of thing. Like I don't want to have that look. But like she's there, and he's like that look is like, I take that look as like, I'll always love you type of thing, right? Like,
well, they said that to each other at one point too.
yeah, and that's what I see, that like him reiterating it 5 years later. Like I meant what I said. I'll always love you. And then like that's not like then it cuts back to him, and then he takes a heavy sigh in, like just to refocus where he actually is in his life instead of like this La La Land state. And he goes 3, 2, 1, and he goes back into the music. Like he had to refocus himself because he was drawn to her again. He had to refocus. They went back into the song, and then that was the movie.
Yeah.
Because like he was visually like he was shook.
Well, of course. How could he not be?
It sounds
But,
interesting. It sounds like from the summary you're giving me, like there's a lot more, again, a lot more depth to it to be held.
It is.
If you watch it.
Even like if you listen to the lyrics of each song, it kind of spoils the movie. Well, not in a way. Like it's heavy foreshadowing, very like clever foreshadowing too. And like just to set up like the juxtaposition of the music from reality, the movie opens up on a big elaborate musical set piece on a freeway in a sunny Los Angeles day. And the song is called Another Day in the Sun. And as soon as that piece ends, the camera pans down and it says winter. So you're immediately juxtaposed from like the music to reality, the sunny winter. But winter in Los Angeles is
you know
sunny.
Jonathan, right? Soriano.
Mhm.
I was talking to him a little bit about it because I told him that I watched it, and we were saying how it was kind of nice, this movie, that it didn't give the regular Hollywood happy ending that a lot of other movies do.
That's what I really like.
Kind of in the same way Manchester did that.
Kind of more reality focused.
Yeah, and like it kind of showed there's always going to be regrets. People that say they have no regrets, that's bullshit. There's
Absolutely.
no way you can have regrets in your life. That's the point of life, is you look at your regrets and then you move forward and try not to do the same thing again. You've learned from it. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
What was your favorite scene?
Man, I'd probably have to watch it again in order to solidify that. I only saw it once, so I can't remember everything.
What is yours, Tanner? I mean, we could
like,
get yours first and then go to Sam.
Of course, like there's the big scenes and everything that like I hold very dear, like the epilogue and everything, and when he goes to see her at her house and like he kind of like, because there's a thing when they break up, she was doing this whole solo, like she was building this solo play up from the ground to try and get people to notice her instead of going to all these auditions.
Yeah.
And the opening of her show, he was supposed to be at he couldn't get there because of a contract thing that he forgot. He thought it was a week later, but it was that night, and he was obligated to be at this thing because or else they would be out. Like he was supporting her, she was living in his apartment. If he didn't go to that thing, he'd be fired. They would have no money. He was obligated to be to this thing, but like it meant a lot to her to be at this show, and he couldn't make it, and they ended up breaking up.
To watch it or just to like be there and like
Be there, supportive, watch it. And
Okay.
It was her first show, yeah.
Okay.
And anyways,
And they just had an argument previous.
Yeah.
Because at that point he kind of had abandoned his goal of pursuing a jazz club
Mhm.
in order to make their relationship work, kind of thing, so that he could make money. But indirectly he was ruining the relationship because he was always on tour in order to do it. So they had a big argument about that, and then he didn't show up to her first performance right after.
Yeah, but he did make an effort to come back when he could and offered to bring her out on some shows or bought tickets for her to come see him. And if he had a chance, he would come back to see her.
Yeah.
And rightly so, they were definitely drifted apart because of that. But I think she definitely got up in her head about it because I think she thought she was going to be the breadwinner at some point in that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, they break up. She goes back to her hometown, which isn't in California and everything. And someone phones like Ryan Gosling's character maybe a month later, be like, hey, we were at so-and-so's, like Mia, Emma Stone's character's Mia. We were at Mia's play. Can we talk to her? We have a role for her in a movie. So like kind of you start to see like someone was at that play and like this could be something here. So he drives out to where she lives and stuff because she never told him where she lived. And even when like he finds her and she comes out onto the road, she's like, how did you find me? And he quotes the line from the play where it's like the house by the old library, on the corner by the old library. And that's where she lives, and that was part of the play. And she kind of gets taken back, like, oh, he did pay attention to the whole play type thing. Like he knew the play inside and out. That like from the play he knew where to find her out of state. And anyway, she comes back and does that audition and gets a big movie role, and that's where her career blows up until. But that's kind of at the end of the movie before the 5 years later. That's basically the big breakup.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was saying, there's scenes like that. But my favorite scene is just kind of this minor scene where they're at like an 80s party near the first third of the movie where they kind of first meet after it's their second meeting basically. And Ryan Gosling is playing in this little shitty cover band of 80s songs. And she she makes him play a song and she's dancing and being all sassy like, fuck you, you bumped into me that other day. And he follows her through the party. He's like, you never make a serious musician play this song that was super like easy to play. And she's like, oh, you're a serious musician? Can I borrow your red jacket? I have a serious firefighter audition tomorrow. He's like, oh, you're an actress? What have I seen you in? And it's kind of like, I like that scene because it's funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like shows their character.
It's funny, they brought back, I forget his name, J.K. Simmons from Whiplash.
Yeah.
And he was the same hard ass as he always is.
How about two for you?
Forcing him to play Christmas Carols. What's that?
How about 2 for you and 1 for me? How about all for you and then for me? Yes, that's perfect. All right, joint decision. No, my decision. All right, whatever.
Yeah.
Great line.
Yeah.
When they're like arguing because he wants to play some jazz instead of like the do.
Yeah. It was funny when he like just starts playing it against his will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
How many times have you seen that? How many times have you seen it?
Either 15 or 16 now.
I'm surprised you haven't seen it 20.
I'm in the mood to see it again. Well, I've seen Guardians of the Galaxy 6 times. And speaking of
about-
independent movies, like Guardians 2 is really like an independent movie disguised as a blockbuster. Like no spoilers, but it's a character-driven film. There's no plot. Like there's no plot in Guardians of the Galaxy. I couldn't tell you what the beginning, middle, end is. It's just a character. It's like you know how like Manchester by the Sea is just your this is your character and you follow him through his to the end of this kind of arc.
Yeah.
Same with La La Land. You have these characters like Guardians or La La Land, but Guardians 1 was kind of like assemble this team, get the stone type of thing. Very like Avengers, I think. This movie is just like from the beginning, it just kind of drops you in. It's like these are the characters and these are their problems. Because there's kind of like 3 different things. You have Peter's story, Rocket, Groot, and Yondu go off and do some stuff, and then there's Gamora and Nebula's story. And it's kind of like all this family turmoil stuff, and like you find out things about Thanos that are very dark and stuff. That like, yeah. Beautiful character-driven movie.
I've heard a few people say that it's like really, really good movie, but it's not as good as the first. What I've been hearing.
I can see why people say it. I consider it the best movie in the MCU. It's definitely my favorite movie I've seen this year.
Is that just an emotional decision though, since you just saw it?
No, I was talking to my friend the other day. I'm like, hey, listen, this might be weird, but I'm starting to look at Guardians 2 as like more than an MCU movie. Like I'm starting to look at it the way I looked at La La Land. Like I've been analyzing it. And there's like subtle things like Ego is a character, but like like the things that happen to the movie, Ego becomes like an allegory for your ego. Because
makes sense.
The things Ego you'll see in the movie, the things that Ego has started to plan and the twists and like the things you see is like he's very like self-oriented and stuff like that. And then there's like deep character things with Rocket. Rocket has some sad stuff that goes on, and Drax.
I like you paying homage to our whole ego talk that we unfortunately were not able to release.
Oh yeah, from that one thing. That perfect transition. But you would see some of that. Like I currently, like if I like Guardians 2 is definitely Manchester's better than Guardians 2 just as a film. I can't take that away from Manchester, but Guardians 2 is probably my top 3 movies ever right now. La La Land, Manchester, and Volume 2. I think Volume 2 easily beats Guardians 1 because Guardians 1 is just a by-the-books Marvel movie. Like, just to establish the characters.
Are there any movies that you just hate?
Oh, yeah.
From just like in
like
general?
Are you just talking about shitty movies, or are you talking about, like, you want me to say, like, negatives about movies that generally, like, get a pass?
Negatives about movies. Because I'm, like, trying to figure out... I was going to say that you could be a good movie critic, but then, thinking about it, I realized you only really ever say good things about movies. So I'm trying to see if you can say bad things about them too.
It's fair to say I have a Marvel bias, right, and everything. Let's establish within the MCU. I can definitely critique some movies there. Thor: The Dark World was hot garbage. Like I can watch it. Like that's like what happened.
Why was it bad?
You saw it,
but
why did Natalie Portman go to Asgard? Why was that movie even have Earth scenes? That whole movie could have taken place in Asgard or in the realms. Iron Man 3 was kind of meh. Like the villain, like they ruined that. Like you take like you want.
I liked it better than Iron Man 2.
I liked Iron Man 2. I don't know why Iron Man 2 gets a bad rap.
I saw it so long ago that I can't really remember, but it just seemed so dated, the same story over and over. No creativity to it.
Fair enough. But you want stakes in your movie. You want things to matter. And like when things matter, you have a driving force against your protagonist. And you kind of had that at the beginning of Iron Man 3. And then when you make a mockery of the villain, all the stakes go out the window. And then they double down on that. And I should emphasize, they double down on no stakes within the movie as they kill Pepper. And 3 seconds later, they kill Pepper. She falls into a fire. And then 3 seconds later, she survived. Yeah. They should have killed Pepper in that movie. And I don't know why they didn't, because she's not in any of the other movies. They break up before Civil War. So.
Well.
Yeah.
Thor has had the weakest movies ever. I think The Incredible Hulk, I just don't consider that part of the MCU. I consider Mark Ruffalo's appearance in Avengers to be the Hulk's first appearance within the universe. I actually like Batman vs. Superman. Like the Ultimate Edition. I think that's a very noir film.
I never saw it. I saw it, but I didn't see the Ultimate Edition.
30 extra minutes, and it fills in so many holes. I'd definitely recommend it. It's like not a masterpiece, but It's much better. I think it's better than Man of Steel and everything. But Suicide Squad is hot garbage. What movie this year did I not like that most people liked?
Actually, about Suicide Squad, could you summarize quickly, like, why it was so, one, hyped, and two, what about it failed, really?
Suicide Squad was hyped because it looked like Guardians of the Galaxy for DC. They cut the
Okay.
trailers just like Guardians of the Galaxy. And then they take the director's film because of the reception of Batman vs. Superman. That's the direction DC wanted to go. They take the film away from the director, and they're like, you have to make this look like the trailers, because it wasn't like the trailers from what I can gather and everything that's come out since.
Okay.
It was more of a darker film, kind of had some tongue-in-cheek things. It probably could have still sucked. But they take an entire movie away from the director, give the movie to a trailer house company that is, like, their specialty is cutting 2-minute trailers, and they cut the whole movie. In the first 10 minutes of Suicide Squad, there's 7 pop songs.
Oh, are you kidding me?
No.
I haven't seen it yet, and I don't think I'm going to after all this
Don't.
Huh.
talk about it.
You know what's
garbage.
worse? It's the Oscar-winning Suicide Squad now.
Over what, like costume design or whatever?
Yeah, makeup. They beat Star Trek. How?
Well, I didn't see the movie, so I can't say.
Well, same here.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
You know what? I hate to say this because we're kind of getting into it now, but it's starting to get late, and we were agreeing that we should probably end this a bit earlier. We had a bit of trouble setting everything up, so yeah.
This is a good little show.
Me and Brock start work early. Tanner's just sitting there assing around. I have no idea what he's doing.
Just having
But-
a
You know how much that first aid course cost me?
$100?
$200.
Really?
Criminal background check, $50. I have to go get a watch for work, a helmet for work. I'm going to be blowing my load before I even make money. I'll be
Jeez, man.
making money on my second check probably. Whatever.
Yeah.
But-
So yeah, we'll try to stay committed to this more than we
Oh,
have.
yeah. We're always committed. We might miss here or there. We had a quick talk about what our new motto should be, or if we should change the motto. Something like we know nothing and talk about everything. Expect the show whenever we do it. But
You know what?
What was the other one I tossed in there? Don't
You'll
expect
get-
much.
yeah, don't expect much. Every Monday, but don't expect it.
To be honest, I think we'll be consistent from now on. Just had the initial beginning of summer, and Yeah.
Lots of transitions. We're all back in Calgary now. But before we wrap up, quick question. I know Sam is looking forward to Guardians. Are you looking forward to Guardians too, Brocky? Rocky
no.
Ooh, you should be. 'Cause
Should
Rocky
I?
Balboa is in that movie. Sylvester Stallone has a meaty role.
Well,
Really?
my interest
Yeah.
is marginally
Bumba.
increased now.
And it's not spoilers, but David Hasselhoff has a funny cameo.
Okay.
Funny cameo. Zardu Hasselfrau.
Is Stan Lee in there?
Stan Lee has the best thing. There's a fan theory was confirmed with this cameo. Like a Stan Lee, like the cameo in Guardians 2 links all of Stan Lee's cameos across every movie he's ever been in. What? He's the same character. Every time you've seen Stan Lee in a Marvel movie, he's been the same character.
What do you mean?
I can explain. It'll be spoilers if I tell you now.
Okay,
After you
fine,
see the movie,
fine.
I can explain to you. But it's a fan theory that's been going on for years, and they finally confirmed it.
Cool.
Okay. I don't really get what you're saying there, but that's okay. I don't want to know anything right
He's
now.
been the same character in every movie. Stan Lee's little pop-in, same guy every time.
Yeah, but he is Stan Lee there.
Mm-mm. He's a... He's
Anyway,
an entity.
that's
He's
enough.
an entity. He's an entity.
This is getting...
This is
All
the
right.
moderate time. And I
All
give
right.
Guardians 2 10 out of 10.
Who wants to rap here?
That was already half a wrap, so we'll have Tanner finish.
Okay, I'll
Finger
come with this.
guns. Go Ducks. Let's go Ducks.
Okay.
No.
Goodbye.